all of you. I just wanted to show you some beautiful art by Tanmay Mandel. There's several other people with some great art, but here is some of it. Fantastic art. Again, this is not AI. And you can go up on YouTube and watch a lapse drawing of what you just saw there. Shout out to all you guys. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. We're going in on an interesting ride, as you can see. We're coming for you, is what it said. All right, now I'm going to share some stuff with you guys first and foremost. Ryan Matta, he is a Republican, or at least a more right-wing person, but he's been tracking down how human trafficking has happened. 190,032 Guatemalan children have been missing for a long time. And one of the good things about U.S. aid is that that Trump is closing down U.S. aid. It's very good because this has been used to facilitate all kinds of evil. Okay, all kinds of evil. And this here is his 2-hour documentary on that. So you guys can check that out. James Lee says weekly U.S. of Israel recap. So he thinks, that Israel is doing all of these ills.
From Israel? Is this what people voted for when they elected Trump, is to have a country taking orders from Israel? I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but that's exactly what's happening. Okay, we're being told that we got to rein in that free speech because anti-Semitism is out of control. We got no choice. The lady who you just saw get arrested, she wrote this op-ed in the student newspaper calling for divestment from Israel, which apparently is anti-Semitic. NYU just canceled a speech by the former president of Doctors Without Borders because she had a couple of slides in her presentation that touched on the casualties in Gaza, which, quote, could be perceived as anti-Semitic. Just how did we get on this timeline where universities consider humanitarian discussions of dead babies to be considered anti-Semitic? Well, here's exactly how.
When they create anti-Semitism commissions to study anti-Semitism on campus, which are basically designed to keep politicians and donors and Jewish organizations happy, they can't hire their own Jewish faculty who study anti-Semitism to be on the anti-Semitism task forces because these people actually know too much about anti-Semitism and what really is and isn't anti-Semitism. So those people get left off the committee. So at the University of Pennsylvania, the guy who was in charge of the anti-Semitism task force is the head of the dental school, right? I'm sure he's a lovely man, right? But he's a dentist. At UCLA, it's a guy who studies real estate finance. At these very universities, you have Jewish scholars who study anti-Semitism, but they can't be put on the committee because their definition of anti-Semitism won't fulfill the purpose of these task forces, which is to create a pretext for censoring and shutting down pro-Palestinian speech. Is this being done for America or for Israel? I mean, this is a fair question. Is the United States government now just taking edicts and orders from Israel? Is this what people voted for when they elected Trump, is to have a
the CDC, Anne Shawalchi, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC Chief of Staff, Sherry Berger, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC Chief Medical Officer, Mitchell Wolf, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC Director of the Washington office. This is pertinent to the topic. We're talking about COVID, right? Yeah. This is pertinent to COVID. So I love you, Jennifer. Yeah, please. So, Director of the CDC of the Washington office, Jeff Resnick, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. COVID SAR, Jeff Zaitz, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. COVID Senior Advisor, Andy Slavitt, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Assistant of Health Secretary for Human Services for our country, the Assistant of Health Secretary, Rachel Levine, transgender, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew.
Can I ask that you hold off, Christopher?
Ma'am, I'm almost done.
Mr. Wood, the chair has ruled that your comments are out of order. She's asked you to stop. The chair has
He said it's you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not derogatory.
Exactly. Okay, keep on going. Head of Pfizer vaccines, Albert Bourla, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Pfizer chief scientist, Michael Dostin, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Moderna chief scientist, Charles X, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. BlackRock, everyone know BlackRock? BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. I say we're willing to sacrifice our ego, our reputation,
You have 19
and our lives.
seconds.
Yes, ma'am, and I love you, and I appreciate your patience. BlackRock's president, Rob Capitale, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. The CDC chief medical officer of Johnson & Johnson, Joanne Wallstreicher, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Chief medical officer
You are
of
done.
Merck, Michael Rosenthal, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Head advisor of the World Economic Forum, Yuval Harari, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. And that's what we're talking about. That's not about who's in charge
Christopher, you need to stop.
of who's in control of the media.
You guys want to know who the deep
When
state
COVID was
is?
being enacted, I'm going to read
And
off.
who's controlling the deep state? You want to know who controls America? And it's been happening for a while. And let me say this. You think APAC, you think getting rid of APAC is going to stop this? No, people. It's not going to. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. Truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, these people have infiltrated every single area. They are in banks. They are in your education system. They are in your entertainment, your media. They're in your government. And they've been doing this systematically in every single country. Okay? Back in I believe it was 1914, there was no APAC and these things. And they were able to influence the president of the United States at the time. Was it Woodrow Wilson? I think Woodrow Wilson to fight in World War I, to get in there. Because they were key people in the government and also in society. These people feel that they should be running the world from Israel. And this is their agenda. This is their endpoint. They want to run all of us. And how they want to run us? We're goyim. We're nothing to them. If they want to rape, pillage us, if they want to kill us, they want to do anything to us they feel like doing, they should be able to do it with impunity. Just like how Israel is right now operating in the Middle East with absolute impunity, violating every single law out there. They've invaded and bombed Syria. They're bombing Lebanon. They're bombing Yemen. They're bombing Palestine, Gaza specifically. They're also, causing mass evictions of people in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. This is going on right now. People's lives are terrorized by this state. Hezbollah's made a statement speaking about Israel and how their end is going to be, and that this terrorist entity needs to be removed from the Middle East to bring back peace to the Middle East. The thing is, once you dissolve this terrorist entity, I'll show you something. Oh, before I do this, Randy Fine, who was endorsed by Donald Trump, is literally, this is this guy here. This is Randy Fine. He's a Zionist. He's Israel first. And I want to show you something. This is what he said about laws, and he doesn't realize these laws are illegal laws. What he's about to say is very illegal. Now, he thinks it's legal because he's talking about actions versus words, but unless you can prove that the person's actions are illegal, what he's going to talk about is a misdemeanor or an infraction. He's not going to talk about legality. People break and enter all kinds of things. Okay? So,
And if your motivation is a hate crime,
holding people accountable without violating their free speech.
sure. And again, I would remind you that there's no First Amendment right to conduct. There's a First Amendment right to speech. And the things that we're targeting in the bill are not speech. Again, if someone wants to stand across the street from my house and wave a sign on the sidewalk, they have every right to do that. And this bill won't have anything to do with that. But when it veers into conduct, and so the way we're going to approach this is through a hate crime kicker. So if you graffiti a building, it is a crime now. But if your motivation is hate, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in prison. If you want to litter, it's a crime right now. But if you litter and if your motivation is a hate crime, it will be a third-degree felony.
okay. So, freedom of speech. Graffiti is freedom of speech. Now, graffiti's always been illegal for some reason. I don't know why. I guess because you're not getting permission to graffiti somewhere. But quite frankly, he is trying to impugn motives, which the thing with this regime and this government is they're not using due process. So they want to talk about the law, but then they're abducting people and they're passing the law. You're supposed to go in a court of law and legislate on this or judicize on this. And the judiciary is supposed to pass a ruling on it, and then you can do whatever you want after that. What this is called is trumped up charges, which is illegal. So what he's trying to do is he's going to say by intent and motive, which if the intent and motive cannot be proven in a court of law, you lose the case. But they're going to try to circumvent the law and just immediately say this is a crime, indict someone without any trial or jury. This is what they're trying to do. And this is where no matter what he says, unless the person has gotten due process, it really doesn't matter what fucking law he passes. Okay? But that law, no matter what he fucking says, if you can't, they're trying to talk about hate crimes, but if you cannot show in a court of law that this person's really, their motivations was hate, then it really doesn't fucking matter what you say. Right? They've been abducting people left, right, and center. And they've been losing the court cases in the court of law because when it comes to these cases, they don't really have substantial evidence to show that this person has a hate crime. And just by telling me you're associated with Hamas or with some terrorist organization somewhere does not prove that it's a hate crime or that your motivations are based on that. Right? Now, what they're trying to do is say, this is a standard thing with protests. They're going to try and ticky-tack these people into getting prosecuted with tremendous charges off of ticky-tack things like, where the students took over the building, a certain building or whatever, commandeered a building. And again, if the protest is not violent, and commandeering a building, you call it's basically a petty charge. All right. They're going to try and impugn motives to that. And I bet you every single case they try to do in the court of law, they're going to lose those cases. As I said before, the governments of countries are they are very incompetent. So they try to draft up laws to have their way. And I've told you about bad law. So if any shit like that, this guy tries to pull off anywhere in America, it's going to lose in a fucking court of law. He's going to lose that case. Right? So this moron here who gets up to represent Israel, not even America, this moron needs to be removed from office. And he will be, because once they start to do the stupid shit under him, now you guys can press cases against him and sue the fucking state for everything that it owns. Now, I like what you guys are doing. Like I said, and I'm going to repeat it, we're coming for you. This guy he's just got a bullseye in his back. He doesn't know it, but he has a bullseye in his back. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I mean, we get to compile all the crimes that he's going to commit under his watch, just like we're compiling all the crimes that Donald Trump is doing. Remember, you have the power. So when you start to strike and you don't give them any labor, because they're already labor draining their country by kicking out immigrants, vital immigrants down in California that are needed, because nobody else is going to do those jobs. Nobody else is going to just spend hours and hours in the sun picking stuff, okay? Nobody. No American's going to do that. They're lying to themselves. So you're labor draining America. And on top of that now, you're also now taking those brightest minds, the smartest minds, the sharpest minds from university, and you're brain draining America with your fucking racism and your stupid ethnic cleansing that you're doing on behalf of Israel. It's just so fucking retarded. This guy looks like a fucking retard. Look at his face. This is the morons that we have leading America right now. Absolute fucking morons. Anyway, sorry about my F-bombs. This is the clown that's trying to trump up law, and saying, these are hate crimes or whatever. He's trying to trump up law to try and get people to stop protesting. But how's that been going, you dumb fuck? How's that been going for you? You dumb motherfucker. It's not going to stop. And the universities are only going to charge up more people. And like I said before, universities need to strike back. You need to shut the whole fucking thing down and everybody protest on the university campus, because now you're infringing on First Amendment rights. Everybody from the top of the university, all those AIPAC lovers and all those Zionists in the university, well, fuck y'all, because everybody else is going to shut down. Y'all can run your classes or whatever you want to do, but shut the whole university down and go into complete strike. That's what you need to do. Let them know, no, motherfucker, we gave you money and you're supposed to give us money for our research and stuff. Shut the thing down. Workers, laborers, union workers, vets, police. If you don't like what's going on, strike. Abandon your post and strike. And I'm going to show you an example of people who are doing that, and boycott all goods and services that have to do with Israel. Strike harder at them. Let them know the people didn't hire you for this, and you will be fired if you don't do your fucking job. The major donor in the United States of America is you, not Adelson, not Musk. Okay? And I don't care about the loudmouths out there. And let them know without uncertain terms that you're coming for them. You're going to hold them accountable. We're coming for you, Batman style. We're coming for you. And we will take you out one way or the other if you don't listen to us. We are your main supplier of money. We're the one that keeps the country running. We're the ones you asked to go to war, to fight for you, and everything. And again, I'm gonna talk to y'all about what's happening in Israel next, because it's getting more and more explosive, and people are taking up the ante, and it's getting more and more intense. Israel's about to be destroyed from the inside out. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But America is gonna fall too. The way how America is going, the people of America is not serving the people of America, and the people of America have realized it. And I'm gonna show you just how bad it is. This was a little snippet. Now, if you guys want more from this guy's channel,
5 years in jail. It is a crime
check out
right
Ryan
now
Matter.
to hang banners from an interstate.
Check out my boy Ryan Matter. These people don't know what they're bringing upon themselves. Trump was the last hope. We were hoping that this guy would do the right thing, and he started off really well. He stopped the ban on TikTok, free speech. He did the ceasefire. And then on top of that, he's trying to cut U.S. aid. All of these things are good things that he has done. Even trying to get a diplomatic solution to Russia versus Ukraine. Knocked it out the park. But now he's ticking off people because this is actually starting to affect people on home soil. One, you started that stupid tariff idea. That's one of the fucking dumbest ideas ever. Then you're talking about invading Canada and Greenland. What the fuck is wrong with you? Then on top of that, you relaunched the war in fucking Gaza. That war's not going to end anytime soon, motherfucker. You stupid. You're really stupid to be doing that. You're not going to get rid of Hamas. You're not going to destroy the resistance. It's just not going to happen. And just because there's no media coverage on it, motherfucker, man, it's not going to end. You're just going to kill more innocent people. You're going to kill more families and people. You're going to cause the people to just rile up, and they're going to destroy Israel. They're going to take it down militarily. If you keep this up, you just bombed the Houthis, and it's like you fucking, opened up a bee nest. They're coming, man, and they're stinging. Nothing can pass through the Red Sea right now, and they're bombing the fuck out of Israel. They just recently had to close down their airport because they were fucking bombing Israel. They just intensified. That's all the shit you did. You just pissed them the fuck off, and your media is not covering it. But Israel right now under fire. It is very unsafe right now. And Hezbollah just made a statement, and Hezbollah is about to take it to the next level against Israel. They're about to take it to the next level against Israel as well. Hezbollah said, talking diplomatically about allowing Lebanon's government to deal with the diplomatic relations. Hezbollah is about to take it up too. Okay? Y'all talking about attacking Iran. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you people? Are you on some kind of fucking suicide mission? Are you trying to bring down the American empire and the Western empire within 2-3 years? Is this what you're trying to do? I don't understand. You're not helping your American people. On one hand, you're trying to help them. And on the other hand, Elon Musk is just gutting everything out, hurting the American people to try to balance a fucking budget. He's not harming anything that has to do with his company or the oligarchs, which is where you should be taking a big chunk of money out of there. He's not doing that. Okay, let's keep this moving. So this is CENTCOM forces. They're attacking Houthi positions. That's U.S. Central Command. They're shooting from their warships. But the Houthis have been bombing their asses down, and they've been taking down key places in Israel at the present point in time. So they're about to get fucked over. They're going to get fucked over. But here, listen to this. Listen to this clown. Listen to this fucking clown. And they're all fucking clowns as far as I'm concerned. And they don't realize by opening their mouths and speaking like that over and over again, all they're doing is giving us ammunition. Every time you threaten us, every time you shadow ban us, every time you threaten us, we'll record it, motherfucker. We're in the age of digital media now. It just gives us ammunition to take your fucking ass down. So Shmuley, an idiot that he is, he's about to acknowledge how they're going to move. Listen carefully.
Society like the Illuminati. Realities when you go through Times Square a block away. You guys want to hide your fucking dummies? You want Jews to become some secret society like the Illuminati who are afraid to show that we're Jewish? No, I won't live in a freaking damn world like that. I don't live in Iran. You're up.
So you heard what he said. He said you want us to go into hiding and be like the Illuminati. You know what he means. You know they got to go into hiding. Because, motherfucker, you will go into hiding. You will have to hide and plan to take down the rest of the world. And we know in the end you will succeed. But right now, this shit ain't going to fly. You ain't going to boldly speak in our face like a nasty demon that you are, motherfucker. We're going to take your fucking ass down. And you've done already on record speaking about genocide. And you've been speaking about genocide. You try to spin it, but you speaking about genocide, we will take your ass out. You will be taken down. We will take you down. And we're not playing this time. and by the book and by the law, because you and your people have been violating the law, and you're wicked people. You're wicked people. Johnny Israel says, Israel has got to go. Israel kills 15 Palestinian paramedics and rescue workers one by one, says the United Nations. And well, it's so much to say. There's so much to say. Actually, all right, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. For the first time in the history of this militaristic and power-adulating country, a refusal to fight in the Gaza war could be at the core of the national consensus. We cannot miss this opportunity. Well, actually, there's a lot of people, reservists right now, that are not going to fight in this war. So it's already started. The blowback has already started. It's only going to get worse the longer they keep fighting. Refusal to serve in the Israeli army will thwart Netanyahu's government. And look, these are Israelis saying, Prime Minister, they're really starting to decry him. And this is happening mostly in Tel Aviv, but nonetheless, they are starting to go against this war that Netanyahu is doing, and it will increase. It will intensify. This is happening within Israel. I've seen the protests. I've seen the people mounting the protests. It's led by a certain young man that they allowed to be freed from prison. They probably will try and put him back in prison. But they've been fighting, man. The Israelis are starting to turn against the government because, again, their government doesn't give a fuck about them. As all governments in the world, they don't give a fuck about you. See these politicians? Let me say this to everybody out there. Everybody in my hearing, we got something to do. We got something for your ass in Turkey too. They are about to take down Erdogan too. Listen to me carefully, all right? The people have had enough of this bullshit. We're always the people that are dying. Whether we're in the front lines in war or we're dying on our own fucking home soil because the government doesn't care about us. None of those fucking governments care about us. None of them. None of them. Not one of them. And it's time we, the people, start to rise up and take the power back in our hands. I told you, we are the major fucking workforce in any fucking country. We are the major consumers in any fucking country. It's us. Why are we turning against each other? Why are we saying red or blue or this party or that party? No. I'm going to say it one more time for the whole world to hear and for you guys to share it to the world. They need us. We don't need them. I'm going to say it one more time. They need us to fight their wars. They need us to buy their products. They need us to do the work. We don't need them. We are the firefighters. We are the police people. We are the doctors. We are the lawyers. We are the professors. We are the teachers. It's us. We don't need them. We don't need them. We are the business people. The small mom and pops. We could run our communities on our own without ever having federal or local government or centralized governments rule us. How they have ruled us has been wicked, evil. We are always suffering. We're always without, and they have everything. That's why the French Revolution happened. That's why the Arab Spring happened. Yes, the people that somehow finagled their way into power were even more tyrannical. And that's where we have to think about the alternative. How are we going to run ourselves? We can't just overthrow them. We have to think about what world we want, how we want to run our thing. How do we make sure we don't have any one specific centralized head, but it is by consensus and the will of the people? How do we exist in harmony and unity? How do we put our skills together to make the world a better place? That's what we have to do. We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need the media. It's all bullshit. Social media has allowed us to get past all of that. What happens to these individuals? They need to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and they deserve to be in prisons. And the people in prisons, a lot of them, don't deserve to be in prisons. They should be allowed freedom to run their lives. If they break the law and breach the law, then they go back into the prisons. The judicial system needs overhauling. All these systems need overhauling. But how do we do it? We do it on the localized level first. We deal within states, within counties. I know of a state in the United States of America that has repealed income tax. They don't have income tax there. It can be done on the localized level, on the individual state level. I'm going to show you more. Sarah Wilkinson says the Israeli execution of 15 medical and humanitarian workers in Gaza is an unprecedented war crime that demands accountability, says a watchdog. And this watchdog that spoke out about this, I'm not sure who it is, but it's very important. Okay. Here's my brother Peter Dow doing a piece. I just want you to hear a little bit of his music. Shout out to him. Creativity. The people have so much to bring to the table, ladies and gentlemen. So much. Claudia Webb says the cost of living crisis isn't inevitable. It's not some natural disaster. Prices increase for the many whilst wealth increases for the few. It's a class war. Yes, and you can stop it. You can stop all these people tomorrow. You have to say, I'm sick and tired of this, and don't go to work. You have to say, I'm sick and tired of this, and don't buy expensive products. Or if you're going to buy expensive products, buy from the local people. Buy from the local small business people. Help them out. Don't give any money to the rich. You have the purchasing power. They need you to still purchase their products. They need your labor to be able to make profits. It's time for you to strike, and strike hard. Strike hard. Zack Snyder is going to be directing a UFC movie. Israel just bombed a house in Camp 2 of Al Nazareth, Gaza, a while ago. This is it here with this specific type of bomb. This is actually Zack Snyder's sister-in-law. She's happy about him with the UFC. The French court on Monday barred Marine Le Pen from seeking public office for 5 years with immediate effect for embezzlement, a hammer blow to the far-right leader's presidential hopes. So the left has been, against the judge. She probably did something illegal, and so she's out of the game at the present point in time, which is actually good for France, if you ask me. Noxus Draven says, the Trump administration is considering revoking $9 billion in Harvard funding over alleged anti-Semitism and criticism of Israel. You saw the video I just gave you. They're trying to clamp down on universities. I tell you, the universities need to strike back. These are institutions of learning. I know they're Masonic institutions of learning. We learned that in a stream I did before, but nonetheless, they need to strike back. And hard. Danny D. Glover is running for governor, I believe, in Atlanta, Georgia, or in Georgia. You guys should back him instead of Sanford Bishop, who is an AIPAC guy. Okay. Empire of Lies says people voted for America first. What did they get? George W. Bush, Hillary Clinton style neocon interventionism. Hey, MAGA, ever feel cheated? Yes, they do. Red Cross is outraged over killing of 8 medics in Gaza by Israel, of course. Owen Jones makes that point. This is Owen Jones again. Love what he says. Listen carefully.
The Hamas has drafted everyone down to the... Last week, one Israeli cheerleader tweeted the following. There were no civilians in Gaza. Hamas has drafted everyone down to the newest babies into the war effort, and they rejoice when the children they shove into the line of fire die because it's their most powerful weapon against those they hate more than life and blood. As another Twitter user perceptively responded to this, everyone who has ever committed, abetted, or supported genocide thinks they've stumbled upon the exception to humanity, that they alone have found the people who aren't people, that those they kill are more dangerous than their killers. It is inherent to genocide to think like this. And that is exactly it. The genocidal mania possessing Israeli society is not, alas, unique. Look at our history. All genocides are justified with the view that this particular people poses an existential threat, that this particular people have collective guilt, that this particular people are the exception for which you must dull any remorse or empathy. This has proven a hideous lesson for all of us about how the great evils we are familiar with in our past were made possible, and it must be restated. If we do not succeed in establishing as an accepted fact that Israel's genocide against the Palestinian people is an intolerable crime, if we do not succeed in holding those who facilitated this genocide to account, then it's not just the ruin of the Palestinian people that will happen. We will have paved the way to hell for our species as a whole. Time is running out. Last week, one Israeli cheerleader tweeted the following. There were no civilians in Gaza. Hamas is...
J.D. Vance accuses Denmark of neglecting Greenland. This is what this brother had to say. It's a strange thing I've noticed lately. Trumpists have become preoccupied with how badly people of Greenland have been harmed by Denmark. I've never seen them stand in the front lines defending the rights of the Sami. But will that change soon? The Palestinian Red Crescent comes out in a large parade of cars to commemorate the medical martyrs who were executed by occupation in Rafah while they were at work. So they came out in large numbers. There's still parts of Palestine where it's still intact. This is Rafah, though. This is not Gaza. This is in West Bank. Okay, so, oh, this is beautiful. This is some good art here by Dr. I don't know if it's Dr. Youssef, whoever. Free Palestine, very beautiful stuff. I love it. I love it. That brother is, promoting China. There's something in Israel I want to show you guys really quickly, if I can find it. This is the Illuminati. Most of them are actually Jewish as well. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, etc. I think I mentioned all of these things before. So I'm just going to run back up here. So there was something else I wanted to say to you guys, but we'll leave it at that for now. Suffice it to say, there's a lot of damage being done in Israel. Oh, this was it here. Students and legal residents are being deported for criticizing Israel. The New York Uninvited Doctors Without Borders and the Jewish scholars booted from anti-Semitism commissions are not aligning with Israel. So we saw those points already, and we covered them. Let me just make it abundantly clear once again. I'm going to say it one more time. All that has just been done are illegal things because, again, the courts did not rule in favor. The only thing they ruled in favor with the government was the U.S. aid that they were cutting. Everything else, no. So the Trump administration, they're going to find themselves in hot water. Like I said before, Americans are not going to take this sitting down. And the other set of things you need. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. In Israel, man, you saw what that they're not going into the draft, and they're also actually protesting Netanyahu and his great dissent inside of Israel concerning the Netanyahu government. And that's a very important thing I think people don't know. Not only is there great dissent inside of America for what the oligarchs and the government, the head government is doing, but it's the same thing happening in Israel right now. There's a big lashback that's going to happen, and it's going to be fucking epic. And it might just destroy Israel altogether, which it will be interesting to see Israel implode within itself, because that's something that's actually happening. Their economy's in shit. The American economy is also in shit. Been bombing everything, and it's trillions and trillions of dollars just be going into the military industrial complex and private sector. So they're just ripping the country to shreds, if you ask me. Now, there's some stuff, I didn't bother to talk about, but, had to do with the upcoming Superman movie, and I'm not going to talk anything about that. I have been trying to push the art that we're supposed to be doing as a people. So I'm going to try and keep on pushing that. I'm about to go out and work. So if you guys are interested, also, I said the stream is brought to you by LIV Products. If you're in Trinidad and Tobago area, all the details, how to contact me concerning orders for LIV Products is in the description. I will catch you guys later. I am Christ. I